I'm gonna try to record some of this Stout Thompson skirmish that happened October 31st, 1914, and what just kind of separated the stouts from our stouts from the rest of the stouts and our family from the rest of the Thompsons because it was so tragic. But basically, it was like Saturday morning, October 31st, 1914. Two wagons passed by. One had John Stout and Otto Stout, his cousin, and the other one had Barry Thompson and his dad, Bart Thompson, father and son. So the wagons passed by, and this happened not far from that Stout cemetery. It was really close. So they passed by, and they got into a skirmish over. The Thompsons were blaming the Stouts for setting fire to their barn. And so they got into it a little bit, and Barry Thompson, who was Dad said he was just back from the Navy and was in good shape, he jumped the wagon and jumped on Otto, rolled him out, wrestled him to the ground. Now, somehow or another, they both got guns. And I'm not sure who tossed who a gun. I can't really get that straightened out. But anyway, it turned into a gunfight, regardless of how they got their guns. And shots were fired, and one of the stray bullets hit Bart Thompson in the wagon, and they thought they had killed him, thought he was dead, and Otto took off running to the woods, and when he did, Barry shot him in the back of the head and killed him, point blank. Well, while this was happening, up the road, close to that cemetery, was where Otto Stout's dad lived, and his name was also John Stout, and this was our grandfather's uncle. He was named after him. He come riding up there on the horse and saw that his son Otto was dead, and he said, "Who killed Otto?" And when he found out Barry was the one that killed him, he shot and killed Barry right there on the spot, point blank. And so our grandfather was kind of left in the middle there, and he loaded them up in a wagon and was taking them up, as far as I can tell, was taking them up to Delhi to the doctor. And when he got up the road, this other John William Stout, Otto's dad, come riding up, pointed the gun at Bart Thompson's head and was going to kill him. And our grandfather said, "Don't shoot him; he's already dead." And I've heard Dad say that a number of times. So that following Tuesday, the sheriff of that Franklin parish came and arrested John W. Stout, put him in jail, waiting trial or hearing or whatever, awaiting the hearing. And so they did have a trial. It was declared a mistrial, basically because our grandfather wouldn't testify against his uncle, John W. Stout. He went up to Arkansas and stayed until the trial was over, and he did come back down. Bart Thompson died in 1932 with a gun, still had the bullet in him, and he said before he died, he said, "Tell John, our John, I forgive him." And that was basically for not testifying against John Stout for just shooting very point blank. So that's about the best I can put together. I read about there's 9 different articles. This actually made like the newspaper from Shreveport to Monroe to Natchez, anything over there. It was in the paper. Some of them had smaller, just little snippets, and others had more lengthy. The Natchez paper had the best little article about it. So that's about as best as I can sum it up.